Personally, I hate following up after a sales call. And most of the time, the lead just ghosts you anyway. And the other times, they just kind of string you along until either you give up or they ghost you again. But most likely, they just don't want to say no to you and to your face. In this video, I'm turning the tables on follow-ups. So stick around and I will reveal to you how to reduce follow-ups in the first place. And if you do have to have some follow-ups, how to do it so that you can seal the deal. Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Tom Jackobs, the sales coach with a big heart, and I'm here to transform the way sales is done one heart at a time. And today, I'm taking on the challenge of reducing the follow-ups you have, and if you have to do some follow-ups, how to transform those into closed deals. I'm working with a client right now whose salespeople have tons of follow-ups, and it's screwing up their sales calendar because the follow-ups are taking appointment slots from new sales calls. Not really ideal. You want to have as many sales calls, fresh new leads that you're selling to on a regular basis, not just following up all the time. It certainly is frustrating for the salesperson and for everybody involved. And here's the kicker. Follow-ups don't have to feel like you're yelling into the void or playing the game of digital tag. They can be the start of a meaningful deal closing conversation if you approach them much differently than what you're probably doing now. So let me show you how. So step one, don't have a follow-up in the first place. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous. Well, I always have to have follow-ups because people can't make the decision on the phone. No, what the reality is, you've probably either given them way too much information so they can't make a decision, or you haven't given them the right information for them to make a decision on the call. You need to be very clear and concise with how you can solve that prospect's problem. And you don't need to worry about the stuff that they don't care about. You need to focus on what will move the needle for that prospect and fit your solution to their exact problem. That's how you're going to make the sale and not have to have a follow-up in the first place. Tip number two, personalize, don't paralyze. And what I mean by that, one of the cardinal sins of follow-ups is sending the same cookie cutter emails to the entire list. It's like tossing a life preserver to a sinking ship and hoping it lands somewhere and you're going to actually hook somebody in and save them. Well, spoiler alert, people can sniff out a generic template from a mile away. Instead, you're going to want to zero in on personalization. Get to know the potential client's unique pain points, their problem, and tailor your follow-ups as if you're having a one-on-one conversation with them. This isn't about firing off mass emails to everybody that you've had a conversation with and saying, hey, just following up, where would you like to go from here? That is generic, and that's not going to get you a return email from them, and certainly it's not going to get them to pull the trigger and actually hire you. But when you personalize that follow-up, they're going to go, oh wow, this person remembers that conversation, they're addressing my exact pain points, and now they're presenting their solution in a way to get me to now make the purchase. Personalization is so key in those follow-up emails and conversations or text messages. Tip number three, you want to be actively listening all the time. That means actively looking at what they're saying in their emails and what they're not saying as well. That is true active listening. Now, here's a radical concept. What if your follow-up wasn't just a relentless sales pitch, but a genuine conversation? Imagine treating your email like a friendly chat over coffee rather than a high-pressure sales seminar. Ask thoughtful questions that stem from the previous responses. And you'll not only demonstrate that you're actively listening to what they're saying, but you'll also show that you genuinely care about their needs, not just you making a sale. This approach transforms your follow-ups into a natural extension of your dialogue, building trust and rapport, making your follow-up less like a sales tactic and more like a collaborative discussion. Now that's a total game changer. Tip number four, use the pain point pivot. Let's face it, your potential clients aren't waking up in the morning dreaming about your product. They're most concerned about solving their problem. They have back pain, they have gut issues, they have a chronic disease. They're concerned about that and fixing that problem. And that's where the pain point pivot comes into play. Instead of diving headfirst into your pitch, steer the conversation towards their most pressing challenges and illustrate how your solution is the magic wand they're going to need and they're going to want. This approach not only makes your follow-up feel more relevant, but also transforms it into a conversation about solutions rather than making sales. You're not just another salesperson, you're a problem solver, and you're ready to help them solve their exact problem with your solution. And who wouldn't want a lifeboat when the waves are getting rough? Tip number 5, and this one's gonna really shock you, I think. Create urgency without pressure. You're like, Tom, how am I going to create urgency without making some pressure? Let's be honest, nobody enjoys feeling like they're in a high pressure sales situation, like a contestant on a game show racing against the clock. But here's the secret. You can create a sense of urgency without making them feel like they're being herded into making a decision. How? By tying urgency to real value. Think of it as offering them VIP access to a party where the only entry fee is a quick decision. Whether it's a limited time bonus or exclusive access, make it directly relatable to their exact needs and their problem. You're not just pushing for a sale, you're creating an opportunity too good to be passed up. That is a true win-win. They get something valuable and you keep the momentum moving forward. Remember, it's not about the hard sell, it's about that smart nudge that makes them eager to take action. Tip number 6, we work with humans, right? Too many follow-ups feel like a robot machine that just kind of pushes things out. Let's break that cycle. Be human. Use humor, ask genuine questions, and be conversational. Even if you're following up with businesses, remember that people want to work with people that they like and trust. A simple lighthearted remark or a well-placed joke can completely change the tone of your interaction and make you more memorable in the sea of stiff transactional emails. And tip number 7, always provide value. Think of your every follow-up as a mini event, and you're the star of the show. Instead of simply asking if they're still interested, so boring, right? How about you bring the party to them? Offer something valuable, like share a link to an article that aligns with their exact problem. Or better yet, showcase a case study highlighting how your program turned a similar client's frown upside down. Or toss in a quick, actionable tip they can implement right away. You know, by consistently providing value, you're not just another salesperson in their inbox, you're becoming their go-to expert. And that's what they want. It's like being the friend who always knows where to find the best pizza. People will keep coming back to you for more. Now imagine this, you've sent your well-crafted follow-up, personalized and engaging, you've highlighted their pain points, and you've created a sense of urgency that feels like a golden opportunity to them, not just a sales push. You refresh your inbox, and bam, there it is, a reply. And it's not just a bland, thanks for following up. They're curious, asking questions, and that shows they've been thinking about your last conversation. And in that moment, you realize you've transformed a ghostly email into a vibrant dialogue. You're no longer just another voice in the inbox. You're a trusted advisor. This is the magic of really good follow-up, turning dreaded tasks into dynamic conversations that not only add value, but close the deal as well. Now remember, tip number 1 was don't have the follow-up at all. Make sure that you are addressing the solution to the problem in the initial sales conversation, and you will make sure that you have the sale on the first call. And that all comes from scripting from the heart. And I'd love for you to get some better scripting in place and take my free masterclass on how to create a killer script with heart. If you don't like to do follow-ups in the first place, great. I'd love for you to have my script with heart free masterclass training. All you have to do is comment script and I will send you that free masterclass straight away.